What is up, you guys, and welcome back here to my channel, Just Simply Sports with me. I am Kaja. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you. Please hit the like and subscribe button for me. And if you're not new, you've been here, I appreciate you. You guys, week 2 of the NFL is in the books. That is it. And you know what? The Chargers versus Raiders, that game just ended, and it's looking like the Chargers are literally going to charge their way right through the playoffs. Justin Herbert looking like he's going to be in the MVP conversation. You got the Lions, who reminded us who they were yesterday. The Bills victorious, Ravens victorious. You got the Bengals dealing with another Joe Burrow injury. Shador turned down the Ravens. It's just so much going on, you guys. Let's just dive right into it. Let's go.
I think this is insane, right? Like, if this is true, I think this is crazy, right? At this point, you're in the 5th round. I understand you had higher hopes, but you've dropped to the 5th round, and you're thinking about being a starting quarterback the next year. I think this is incredibly short-sighted. Like, if you're in this situation, you want to go to an organization that is going to develop you, right? Here you have the Baltimore Ravens, the model of stability in the NFL. This regime's been together for how many decades now? And actually has a track record to develop quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, Lamar, right? Instead, you choose the Cleveland Browns because you think you have a chance to start the next year. And mind you, the Cleveland Browns, who are on the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to stability. Right?
I don't know if you watch NFL Countdown, but if you don't, that was a conversation that took place yesterday after Adam Schefter breaking news. Shador Sanders declined to be drafted by the Ravens in the 5th round with the 141st overall pick. Why are you telling us that now? Like, I don't understand what the goal is, Adam, because you knew this for what, how long now? I don't believe you just found this out. Like, you have the inside information. At a time where Shador was trending and I was trying to figure out why this and why that, like, why not say it then? And if you weren't going to tell us it then why are you telling us this now? Because it already happened. Now, I have the quote right here from Shador because they asked him about whether or not it was true. He did not confirm or deny it, and rightfully so. I'm glad that he didn't, because if he said, yeah, it is true, that would have been a bigger thing. No, it's not true. Oh, well, then who's lying? And then so, like, it would have been a whole different thing. But it's like, he's moving forward. Like he said, the past is the past. I'm looking towards the future, as we all should. There's no need for us to talk about him dropping in the 5th round anymore, 144th overall pick. Like, it happened. It's unfortunate, but he has an opportunity at some point, I believe, in this season, because Joe Flacco has not looked the best. They're not winning, and at some point, Dylan Gabriel, I think, will get a chance to start, and then ultimately, I think Shador, because at the end of the day, the Browns have a lot of picks in this upcoming draft. Do we have our franchise QB in Dylan or in Shador? If they're not here, then you know what? We got to get somebody else in this upcoming draft. Joe Flacco is not going to be the guy forever. Obviously, he is older, and it is what it is. So we have to keep that in mind. And it's like, for Alex Smith to say, oh, like, this was not a good decision, why not? Like, why? Look, when it comes to learning, being behind Lamar Action Jackson, being, like he said, a great organization, you know, a great regime, that's his point right there. Like, they don't do too many things different. They're like a model of consistency. They have their QB in Lamar for the next decade or so. He is 27, 28. He is at his peak right now, or peaking, depending on how you look at it. There was no way that Shador was going to get a chance to really show he can lead the franchise. Why should he waste his next 8, 10 years sitting behind Lamar Jackson and not really playing? If he believes that he has the talent to be a starting QB of a franchise, then he should go someplace where he has that chance to show and compete and fight for a starting spot. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, he didn't know, from what I saw, he didn't know that the Browns are going to be the one to select him with the next few picks later on. Like, that came as a surprise to him. So he went to go bet on himself, and as he should. If you know that you have the talent, you feel like, and I feel like every professional athlete should believe that they are the chosen one, so to speak. You have to have that confidence and that belief, and he has that in himself. He was raised that way. We know who his dad is and his confidence. He has his dad's swag. You need to believe in yourself in this league, in professional sports, period, to succeed. He wants to go someplace where he has a chance to compete. He's there where he can compete. And obviously, outside of him connecting with Lamar, I feel like they would have a better chance of connecting, more so than him and Joe Flacco. But he wasn't going to get a chance to start there. He wasn't. So he's at some place now where Joe Flacco's on the way out. Like I said, Dylan Gabriel will get his chance. I don't believe Dylan Gabriel is a better leader, a better quarterback than Shador. And I feel like at some point this season, we will get a chance to see them both start the game. After that, the chips will fall where they may, and whatever happens, happens. But Shador does have a chance, and that's what he wanted. That's what he has. That's what's most important. We have to talk about the Dolphins right now, you guys, because the Dolphins are drowning right before our very eyes. Look at this right here.
Was there a delay in deciding to go for it, getting the play call, breaking
that's kind of where the frustration lies for me. Is there was not it wasn't deciding that cost us, or a late play call, which that happens at times. But this was not one of those times. I got the play call in, but I need to do a better job supervising all of the orchestration within our multiple personnel groups. So to win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game, honestly. And that is how you lose the game. You're moving the ball down the field. You're 1st and 10, and then you find yourself at 2nd and 20. That was critical.
Now, I saw that clip going around online of him saying, in order to win the game, you got to win the game. Like, you can't lose the game. And I was like, we know that. Like, breaking news, hello. But I'm like, something is missing from this. So I wanted to go back, obviously, and get the full context of what was asked and why he responded the way he did. And when you hear the whole thing, obviously, its entirety, it is not as bad as they made it sound. I know that he's the more gnarly, chill, this is totally rad vibe kind of coach, but that's his thing, and I say myself a lot. Sometimes you're thinking and you can't get your words together, so do not judge people that say a lot, you guys, okay? Because everybody's different, everybody's not as sophisticated with their tie when they are addressing the media, and that's okay, right? But the biggest thing for me is, all jokes aside, something is seriously lost within this team right now. I don't know who the leader is. I don't really feel like they're buying in anymore to Mike's see, there goes the right? That they're buying into Mike's I don't want to say again, buying into Mike's message or his culture at this point, if that's a better word. Tua, last season, he's concussed. Like, he's been dealing with the concussions for a while, right? But that's to be expected. So hopefully that he stays healthy. But if something happens, hopefully Quinn Ewers could step in and still lead his team. And honestly, they might want to try putting him out there, in my opinion, and seeing what happens, just to kind of shake some things up. But looking at Tyreek Hill, he looks very, very unhappy. And I'm thinking about the Chiefs and how they look right now. Y'all, the Chiefs are a different team. Okay, I know they're missing Rashid Rice. I know they're Worthy dislocated his shoulder. I get that. Travis Kelce looks different. But Tyreek Hill, when he was with them, like, there is a lot that can be done right now. Tyreek, you got your money, right? You have your ring already. Go back home. Go back to Kansas. Go back with Andy Reid. Go back with Patrick Mahomes and do what needs to be done for you and your legacy, because Miami is in a rebuilding phase right now. They're not going anywhere anytime soon in Miami, and that is obvious.
What is it about this team that you guys are able to win in so many different ways?
I think that's the most important thing is finding a way to win. And, given the competitive nature of the game and how our games have gone when we play this team. So it's a really good team. We got a ton of respect for them, obviously, but you got to come in with a sense of focus. You got to stay patient within yourself, stay patient within the team and your role, and let things come to you. And I think as a team, we showed up when we needed to the most, and that's the most important thing in this league, is finding ways to win.
I think we're so focused on how we feel like Jalen Hurts should play at the Q position that we kind of miss the fact that the most important thing is that they're winning these games and that they're doing it in a multitude of ways. When you think about the Eagles, the fact that they can win without necessarily having Saquon go off for a whole game, because in their Super Bowl, they did not let Saquon go off. Right? They were like, somebody else is going to beat us besides Saquon Barkley. And then you had Jalen Hurts, who stepped up in those big moves like he did the first time they played the Chiefs, right? Best player on the field both times, hands down. Even in the loss, he was still the best player. But it's like, because he doesn't look like as flashy as Lamar Jackson, or he doesn't look as cool as Josh Allen. It's like, oh, he's not elite, he's not this, he's not that, but he is a winner. Game 1 against the Cowboys, when he had nobody to throw the ball to, everybody was locked up. What did he do? Use his legs in extended plays, got his team down the field, got them in position to get a touchdown, to get the tush push, to get a field goal. Like, that's what a leader and a franchise QB does. You lead your team, you put them in position to win games, and he does that. He's taking care of the ball. He's not turning over. He's not throwing interceptions and picks and things of that nature, right? There was a time that he was, but he's not doing that anymore. Are you your best when your best is needed? And he has been that. He has shown up when his name has been called several times over now. Everybody has their own style, and the style for the Eagles, they run a different kind of offense. It's not that they can't do anything different. They're choosing to do it this way for whatever their reasons are, and it is working because they're winning. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You have to win games, in my opinion, the way the game needs to be won. Every game is not going to be, I need to throw for 500 yards kind of game. Every game is not going to be, I got to run up the field and leap over people, like Saquon Barkley, black people over people, going to the end zone. Every game is not going to call for that. Some games are going to be won in the trenches. There are going to be some ugly, ugly wins. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it's going to be some dominant wins. That's how the world of sports goes. And the fact that they can win these games without having Saquon go off, without having AJ Brown go off, with just doing the tush push that they need to, like the fact that they can win in so many ways without having Darius Slay, without having the best defensive player in Jalen Carter, who got suspended before the game in week 1. Now AJ Brown might be like, I got paid, I want a ring, I want to go someplace now where I'm going to get a chance to build my legacy, where I can All-Pro, Hall of Famer, and things of that nature, because obviously he wants to get more touches and obviously more carries. That's different for him, I understand that. But the offense is not called for him to do that, so he doesn't need to, at least not in every single game, and they're still winning. Biggest winners from week 2. Buffalo Bills, shout out to Bills Mafia, dominated against the Jets. Shout out to the Ravens, dominated against the Browns. Shout out to Justin Herbert, looking like he's going to be in the MVP conversation, you guys. Dominant win over the Raiders. Shout out to Buccaneers, got a close one against the Houston Texans, but Baker Mayfield, he put his cape on and did what needed to be done 2 weeks in a row now. Fly, Eagles, fly. Jalen Hurts, he's making it work. The Eagles are doing what needs to be done. They are 2-0. Bengals, right? I know that they lost Joe Burrow, but they started the season 2-0. And they haven't done that in a while. Shout out to them as well. Shout out to the Patriots. Shout out to Indiana Jones. Look at Daniel Jones out there in Indiana, you guys. Who would have thought the Chiefs were going to be 0-2? You got Indiana Jones out there 2-0. Biggest questions coming out of week 2. What's going on with the Bears? What is going on? Because we saw Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn in Detroit. We were like, man, look at Aaron Glenn. Look at this defense. Look at the offense, right? The Ben Johnson effect. Hold on. We got to pump those brakes. Is it really the Ben Johnson effect? Is it really an Aaron Glenn-led defense? Because it's not looking like that. The Buffalo Bills put 30 points up on those Jets, okay? You had Aaron Rodgers, who also put up, I believe, about 30 points against the Jets in week 1. Right? So what's happening? Now, when you think about Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, right? He wanted to go there with Caleb Williams, obviously, because he is talented. They brought in a lot of nice pieces around to help Caleb Williams be even better than he was, obviously, last season. And then we saw how they looked against the Lions. 52 points? 52 points is unfathomable. That is absolutely wild. So now I'm wondering, was it the fact that you were with this Lions team and their weapons that had Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn looking so good? Or was it the fact that maybe Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson were not who we think that they are? That's the big question for me coming out of week 2. What is going on also with CJ Stroud? CJ Stroud was out there running for his life, you guys, tonight. I mean, the Buccaneers had him running. He was getting sacked. He was throwing the ball all over the place every which way. I was like, CJ, what is happening? Like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, the defense worked their tails off. Special teams in the block punt, like they worked. They gave them every opportunity to win this game. Ended up winning by 1 point, but a win is still a win, like I said. And the Texans had opportunities that they were not able to capitalize on. And for me, I'm like, what's going on? Get CJ Stroud some help. SOS. Expeditiously. He needs some help with that O-line. Last but not least, the Chiefs, you guys. Nobody's scared anymore. Nobody is scared anymore. The Chiefs were humbled in the Super Bowl, and everybody said, oh, they can look like that? Then we know we have a chance too. What do the Chiefs need to do? I know they're going to get back Rice at some point. They're going to get back Worthy. But even aside from that, I don't still feel like, even with those pieces back, that the Chiefs are gonna run it back again and get Super Bowl. I don't see them getting back Super Bowl this year. I know that that's been the consistency, but this year to me, playoffs, but I don't see Super Bowl at all. I don't see it. Now, before we get out of here, you guys, I have to come to you with who wore that, you guys. We gotta talk about some of these fashion choices that I saw yesterday in week 2. These are my top 4 picks. Number 1, of course, is Jalen Hurts, looking like a leader, looking like money, looking like class, the epitome of class, distinguished gentleman from the head all the way down. I love the way he dresses every single week. Malik Neighbors is giving me a younger vibe. He's giving me number 1 wide receiver, baby. I am here. I'm ready to catch, and I'm ready to make my mark on this game versus the Cowboys, and he did just that. Incredible passes between him and Russell Wilson in that end zone. Travis Kelce, you guys, I'm liking the shorts combo that I'm seeing from him. Travis Kelce, low-key, he can dress, you guys. Should I say high-key? He can dress. I like what I'm seeing from him. He always dresses nice to me, no matter what he has on. And then last but not least, of course, you have Smitty, who has the same little shorts combo on Travis Kelce had, but obviously in orange. And I like what I'm seeing. Look, you guys, I'm big on some colors. I like the fact that they still look masculine, okay, but fashionable at the same time. That concludes this week's episode, week 2 of the NFL, you guys. Let me know your thoughts about week 2. What were your highs, what are your lows? Who do you think that we should be on the lookout for? What team are you like not high on anymore? Let me know it all, you guys, in the comments. Of course, I read them, I do respond, and I will see you in the next video.